Now, it is not just that Saudi Arabia is hosting this COP, and it's not by an accident. Saudi Arabia has been very active on the question of land restoration for the past 4 or 5 years, which itself come within the context of a much bigger rethinking of the Saudi government's policies on environmental matters. In 2020, Saudi Arabia was the president of the G20 when they initiated the Global Land Initiative with a mandate to achieve 50% reduction in global degraded land by 2040, to which all the G20 leaders signed up. Saudi Arabia also initiated a Middle East Green Initiative with an objective to restore 200 million hectares of land. And Saudi Arabia also initiated a national Saudi Green Initiative with an objective to restore 40 million hectares of land. So there's a cascading level of land restoration and a projection of land restoration as a global theme. So it is in this context that the Conference of Parties of the UN Convention to Combat Desertification is coming to Saudi Arabia. So at a logistical level, this you can expect to be a absolutely massive Conference of Parties. For the first time in the history of the UNCCD COP, there will be a blue zone and a green zone. UNCCD, as some of you may not aware, has 197 parties to it, as against 193 members to the United Nations itself. So it's a very inclusive, very global convention. And this COP, you should see a lot more action on the land restoration agenda. The last reporting cycle of UNCCD, which produced and compiled the information, actually proved that while there is close to 1 billion hectare of commitment from parties to land restoration, including about 400 million hectares under the UNCCD process, unlike UNFCCC COP and CBD COP to an extent, the private sector has not been very active in the UNCCD COP. Of course, there was a private sector element to it, but the decisions which are made at the UNCCD COP generally did not have a major impact on their bottom line. But I think it's important that that happens, that the private sector has a true stake in the outcome. Because only when that happens, then the private sector deploy its resources the way it deploys in the climate change process and the biodiversity process. So getting more engagement from the private sector beyond coming together for a round table, but taking cognizance of the results of the COP and incorporating them into their business practices. We are looking forward to increased youth participation in the COP. On our website, currently there's a call open for young people who are interested to participate, to apply so that they can also be given financial resources. So if there are young people in the audience, please visit our website and apply for some travel support if you are interested to join our COP. But at a much broader level, what we are also seeing is that young people are not just waiting for international conventions or big government decision on this topic. They're also taking things into their own hand. They are seeing issues like land restoration as an opportunity. Around the world, young people are setting up new business ventures. So over the past 2 years, we have been looking at such young people who are seeing land restoration as a business opportunity. So we have this young person, Musharul from Bangladesh, who have set up an AI-based tool for sustainable agriculture. We have Mukwesa from Botswana, who has set up a compost manufacturing unit for land enrichment. And there are hundreds of others, and we are supporting and promoting such young, what we call ecopreneurs on this. And with the new European law on restoration coming on board, we see there's going to be a lot more opportunity for young people, both to set up new startups, but also green jobs in the domain of land restoration. So indeed, there's going to be a land of opportunities out there. Come and grab it.